Okay. Tell me when you want me to do it. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Butler Gymnasium on campus of Lexington Catholic. It is the championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic. And battle will be number 1 and number 2, E-Town, as they will take on a very good Butler team, Gary Ball, William Warfield, Emma Eiler. And we talked to both coaches and a couple of the star players that will be coming up in the pregame. A special pregame show here on PrepSpin. We'll come back and we'll have those interviews with, first up will be Larry Just and Butler, and then it'll be Tim Mudd and E-Town here. As the pregame show rolls on here, championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic here at Lexington Catholic between number 1 E-Town and number 2 Butler. We'll return with the pregame interviews after this timeout.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile. And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile. I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me. And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner. I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions. And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night. Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
And welcome back here to the Traditional Bank Classic. Gary Ball with William Warfield. We're set for the championship game, and the championship game is number 1 and number 2 in the state. Elizabethtown taking on Louisville Butler. E-Town coached by Tim Mudd. Larry Just, the head coach for Butler. And earlier we interviewed both coaches and some players from each ball club. We're going to go to those interviews. It's first up will be Larry Just, and he is the head coach of Butler. And Coach Larry Just is up with Micaiah, and I believe it's Bowden. Yeah, Miss Bowden is in as well. And do we want to take a break before we? Let's go right to that interview with Coach Just and Micaiah Bowden. Coach, it's Butler and E-Town, 2 of the top teams in the state. Pretty much what you want when you play in a tournament like this and play other great competition.
Well, absolutely. This time, that's why we came to Lexington Catholic. Some of the best teams in the state. We've seen them stack up. Certainly, E-Town's one of the best. I mean, they've been very good for a long time. Coach Bud's done a great job in this weekend this year.
What is it you think about E-Town when you look at them, Coach, that makes them such a tough matchup for Butler?
Well, they got experience. You got a goalie that sits inside with all of her experience and talents. I mean, that starts with any team. They've got a starting lineup that's solid top to bottom. I mean, Stinson out on top, handles the ball really well, gets them into what they need to do, can score, defend. off guard, handles the ball well, shoots it well. They have post play. I mean, they've got everything you need to be great. So I actually think they're playing better this year than last year.
Mackay Bowden joins us as well. Mackay, what is it about your team with the fast start you've had in this tournament? It seems like you really jumped out on teams and kept that pace going.
Yeah, we just start fast. That's what we just tell ourselves before we start. If we don't get to start fast, we gotta play from behind, and we don't want to do that.
What do you think are some of your key matchups today with E-Town?
I feel like Jamie, she's gonna do really good.
Just a lot of tough, coach, a lot of tough. As you mentioned, girls that can do a lot of different things for E-Town. Erin Bowley's more than just she can really shoot it outside. She can go to the basket, things like that. So what were your defensive scheme against the
Just trying to make things tough. I mean, you're averaging 27 points a game, shooting 67%, 52 from three-point range. It's kind of tough to think you're going to shut anything down. I told our kids, I said, this is a group that's going to make shots. You're not going to stop them. You're just trying to make it tough on them and trying to make them take some shots they're not used to. Trying to get them to be one and done, in terms of that. So that's the goal.
Well, you wrap it up here. You head home for Christmas. What would you tell the ball clubs you go out and take on E-Town?
Really just play the way we've been playing. Take care of ourselves. Try to do things that we've talked about. Execute our game plans as best we can. See where we are. It's December. It's not March. It's December. So we're just trying to find out about it.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mackay. Good luck today. That's Mackay Bowden and Coach Justin. Butler will come back. We'll talk to E-Town on the pregame show on PrepSpin after this. And we're back here. Like Bobby Bowden, right? Back here at the Traditional Bank Classic. We'll step out, take these commercial breaks, and come back and we'll have the interview with E-Town, Tim Mudd, and Rachel Warden, his star player. We'll come back and have them as well here at the Butler Gymnasium. We'll take this commercial break and come back and have the second interview with E-Town and talk with Tim Mudd and Rachel Warden here at the Traditional Bank Classic.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile. And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile. I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me. And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner. I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions. And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night. Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Like Bobby Bowden, right? Bobby Bowden. Mackay. And we're back. Back here at the Traditional Bank Classic, and we are going now to the interview with Tim Mudd of E-Town and hear what he has to say about today's game. Here's Tim Mudd and Rachel Warden of E-Town. Here, Lexington Catholic, the traditional bank classic championship game. Here live in HD, high definition. Coach Tim Mudd from E-Town, Rachel Warden, the outstanding shooter. Coach, she got you going yesterday, knocking down a couple big threes there early on.
She did. She's being a senior, we look to her and Aaron to do a lot for us, and she's done that for us all year.
Let's take a look at Butler, your opponent. Been very impressed with them, very impressed with your ball club. It's two really good basketball teams playing for the championship, and that's what you want this time of year.
We do. I told the kids before we left today, win or lose, this has been a good experience for us. I think we've gotten a lot better. 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I could have, I really wouldn't have thought we'd be at this point that we're at right now 2 weeks ago, but the kids have really come together, we're passing the ball much better. So, today, win or lose, I think hopefully both teams will get better because of it.
Coach Mudd and Rachel Warden with us. And why do you think the team has really got that cohesiveness that you're looking for and come together here in this tournament?
I think that Coach Mudd talks a lot about playing as a team and playing together, and I think really we just kind of bought into it and realized, a few games that we had some spurts we played really well as a team, and everyone's like, well, hey, this looks pretty good, and it makes everybody better around you if you're looking and making your teammates better. And I think that really we're just improving every step of the way, and that's an awesome thing right now at this time of the year.
Were you able to look at Butler, scout them much at all, Coach Mudd, and what do you think are going to be the keys for this game?
My assistant, Coach Sweeney, did. I'll be honest, we've gotten here each day. We change, we play, and we leave because we're driving back and forth. Right. We're going down to Naples after Christmas, so we want to be at home as much as we could right now. But no, we're going to have to keep them off the boards. Rebounding is going to be a key to today's game. And, not turning the ball over. But truthfully, those two things are probably, they're keys to every big game,
Rachel, playing with a player like Erin Boley, but what I notice about her, she lets the game come to her. She's a consummate team player, and I know you've played with her for quite some time now.
Yeah, I'm so blessed to play with a player like her, because I think when you think of a player with that kind of skill level, you might think, selfish or anything like that, and those don't come anywhere near to describing Erin. She's humble, and she loves to share the ball, and she loves to score the ball, and she's a great player all around and a great teammate.
What are the keys to getting a win over Butler today and heading home to Christmas before you head down to Naples?
I think we just play hard and we compete on the boards and, just bring our best game and hope for the best.
Coach, I always like to ask coaches, last question, you got to get Miss Warden in the locker room there and get her ready for the game. Right. But as you go to the chalkboard, what will you tell E-Town as they take on Butler?
Basically what I told you earlier. We just want to compete hard on the boards and hopefully take care of the basketball.
Thank you, Coach Mudd. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
That's E-Town. They take on Butler here. That's the pregame. We'll come back with the starting lineups here. It is the championship game of the traditional bank classic.
There's something special in the air at the University of Louisville. Investment and constant progress are helping today's students and faculty unleash their potential, discover new answers, open more doors, give back to others, see new worlds, and become champions in everything they do. Now, more than ever, it's a great time to be a Louisville Cardinal.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
back at the Traditional Bank Classic. It's a championship game thanks to both coaches and the players for joining us on the pregame show. Gary Ball with William Warfield will be bringing you the championship game between E-Town and Louisville Butler. William and I have seen both these teams play throughout this tournament. William, I would say without question, there's some great teams in this field, but these two teams playing for this championship coming up here in about 5 minutes or so with the tip-off are the two best teams playing in this Traditional Bank tournament.
No doubt about it, Gary. Both of these teams very well deserving of 1-2 in the state. I like E-Town, here today. Butler, however, though, they're a little bit quicker than E-Town, so that could be a difference maker today too. And it's really a coin toss. I think the deciding factor was Bowling. I mean, she just stands out here, above and beyond everybody else out there in the court. She's one of those athletes who just stands out.
I think the key for Butler is Jalen Penn. If she can have a big game and go off, say have 25 points and hit the boards like both coaches said in the pregame, they got a rebound, I think Butler has an excellent chance. But I tell you what, don't count out Larry Just. When you look at the coaches, not only these two of the best teams in the state, you got two of the best coaches battling here, Larry Just and Butler. He's won a state championship. Tim Butt of E-Town knows how to win state championships, so it's two well-coached, talented basketball teams.
Yeah, both of those guys know how to get the wins, and they've been at it a long, long time. And this year just happens to be one of those years where they're at the top of the game and they have a really great chance to make it to EKU. Now, with that being said, Gary, I think that the pick the clip for me for Butler. I know you're a big Penn fan, but I think if Lewis can get into the ball game today, especially a lot more than what she did yesterday, she could be a difference maker. She's got the body where she can back, post up and make some baskets down low that other players just can't make.
And you mentioned that to Coach Just up here earlier tonight or this afternoon about her playing in her minutes. And what did he say? He said, well, when she does the things she's supposed to do, she'll get the minutes. So what that means is that Miss Lewis, if she's doing everything she's supposed to do today, she'll get a lot of minutes. Of course, the most minutes you get in high school basketball, unless it's overtime, is 32. And you're right, William. I think they need more than 24 minutes out of Jana Lewis to win this game. But there's a lot of talent on this Butler basketball team. I think another key, which we haven't really even talked about, is I think Allison Just needs to be knocking down some threes, because I've seen her play. I know she can knock down the three. She's the coach's daughter. She averages about 7-8 points a game, but when her three is on, she can really be streaky with it. And of course, they got to play some really good defense on E-Town.
Yeah, she's an outstanding. She's 5'9". She's a senior this year. In one of those leadership roles, she's very, very solid. And you're right, Gary. She's a for E-Town, though, when we talk about shooting the three and hit those type of shots, Rachel Warden, she's another one of those players that's a 5'9" senior that can get the job done for E-Town. So it'd be interesting to see those two battle each other.
And Ms. Wharton already knows where she's going to play her college basketball. She's going to play at the University of Tampa down in Florida, D1. And then you got Jada Stinson, too, who's very quick off the dribble. You counter that with Aaron Boley. And I tell you what, the girl that gets lost in all this equation is Taylor Thomas, the 5'9" junior. She averages 11 points and only 7 rebounds for E-Town. I look for her to have a big game today as well. It's the championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic here at the Lexington Catholic here, just off Clays Mill Road. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Emma Eiler, our videographer. She does a great job, by the way. I think I mentioned that last night. Emma does a great job. The videographer videoing this game for us. And William, it's just been great. As you said last night, 28 games you've done out of this Traditional Bank tournament, and the championship game concludes with number 1 and number 2. What a Christmas present, Mr. Warfield, you've given the high school fans around the state who can sit and watch this game on their smartphone, iPad, computer, and watch this game in high definition. And of course, you and I'll do the best job we can to call in the action as well to give them some play-by-play.
It's just not me. I think we're all in the gift of giving this year, and for you to be able to volunteer your time here today, and of course thanks for Rafferty's for sponsoring today's broadcast to help you get what you need, being compensated wise, and make sure that we can have a good ball game today. Thank you so much to Rafferty's.
Yeah, thanks to Rafferty's, Scott Lindsay, and all the staff there. Starting lineups are going to be announced by the public address announcer here at the Buter Gymnasium. That's Greg Martin. He is a Lexington Catholic grad. He's been the long-time public address announcer of the Lex Cath basketball program here. I've been coming here about 15 years, and he's been doing it ever since I've been coming here. And like I said, he does a great job. I wish we could mic him up somehow, but Greg Martin doing the starting lineups here. It is Louisville, Butler, and Elizabethtown, number 1 and number 2 in the state. You heard the coaches, you heard the players, and William, all it's time for now is put up or shut up. It's basketball time in the Bluegrass.
It is basketball time in the Bluegrass, and we're going to see who the very best is. It's just December, but who's the best in December right now?
And these coaches, don't you think they love a game like this? Because Butler knows how good E-Town is. E-Town knows how good Butler is on the basketball floor. Both these coaches are going to use this. Of course, E-Town, Coach Mudd told us just in that interview before the ball game, they're heading to Naples, Florida right after Christmas for a Christmas tournament down there, but they want to get through Christmas first. So this is a huge game for both ball clubs. Here are the starting lineups being announced by the public address announcer. Jada Stinson, William, is your 5'7" junior guard, averaging nearly 14 a game. Taylor Thomas is a 5'9" junior, 11 points, 6.5 boards a game. Rachel Warden, and thanks to Miss Warden for joining us on the pregame up here high atop the Crow's Nest, as I call it here at the Buter Gymnasium. Chatted with us, great young lady. 11 points a game, the senior headed to Tampa. Aaron Boley, the Notre Dame commitment, 6'2" senior, 27 points, 11 rebounds. What can you say about Miss Boley, William? She's the complete package on the basketball floor.
Superstar senior, Aaron Boley. She's going to be a good college player,
Oh,
too.
yeah, she'll be an outstanding college player. I think it's written all over. Ramsey Deaton, the junior, will be the other starter for E-Town. And Butler will counter with this lineup. It'll be Jalen Penn, the junior, averaging 14 points a game. It'll be Tiaja Jeffries, the junior, averaging 12 points a game. Allison Just, the 5'9" senior, averaging 8 points a game. It'll be Bria Torrens, the junior, averaging 7. And it'll be Micaiah Bowden. And Bowden also the 5'10" senior. She joined us on the pregame show as well. Thanks to her. Nice young lady. It was great chatting with the coaches and players before the game. That was a great idea, Mr. Warfield, on that pregame show. I enjoyed that.
Bonus coverage.
Little bonus coverage. Now we're going to check out the tip-off, and Aaron Boley's waiting for Butler to break huddle. We're just about set for basketball. The Herald leaders here, Josh Moore, so everything's good in here. We're ready to roll. And William Warfield, Emma Eiler, our videographer's over there. She's ready to roll. So you sitting home and enjoy this by your fireplace and check out number 1 and number 2 in the state. Tap is controlled by Butler. Just comes down with it. She hands it in backcourt to Torrens. Across the line, E-Town's packing in a 2-3 zone defense. Just calling for some help out front, and she'll hand it to Bria Torrens, a junior. Torrens looking at that 2-3 patented zone defense by E-Town. Just swing it back around the perimeter to Bowden. Down low, Just wide open, left hand, missed it, and backside rebound nicely done there by Deaton. Ramsey Deaton had good position, William, got the nice rebound.
Slow start out here for Butler on the first offensive look at it. We'll see what E-Town can do.
That's Jada Stinson, the ball handler for E-Town. Kicks it in the corner to Deaton. Deaton brings it back out top of the circle. Heads it to Thomas. Thomas down low. Shot won't go there for Boley. Picks it back up left hand, rolls it in.
Oh, I like how she quickly recovered off of that rebound.
And went to that offhand. And went to that offhand, the left hand, and used it and knocked it down, no doubt. 2-0. E-Town on top here early on. That's pinned to the basket. Off glass, rolls off, rebounded by Boley. Aaron with the left-hand dribble down the middle of the floor. Boley kicks it in the corner. Stinson thought about it, moves down the left elbow to the basket. Off glass, lays it up and in. It's 4-0 E-Town.
E-Town bringing it so far. Butler looking for something to happen here on offense.
Penn, right side, good nice crossover, and hangs and scores. Penn said, okay, last time I was a little off balance, but this time I'm going to make sure I got the scoop, and that's 2 scoops of raisins right there.
Well, she went to her right, faked to her right, that is, and then hit that left, and that was on a dime.
4-2. And Warden skips it over to Thomas, works in, a lot of contact there, lays it up and in. Body's hitting the floor, Bowden hit the floor, but Thomas says, I'm going to go ahead and put it in, see what they do here with the whistle. No whistle, so no harm, no foul, 6-2.
And you got, don't forget, Lockhart over here on the bench. She might be a factor in the ball game, too. I think Lockhart and Lewis could get in there and pound with Boley.
Just, she can hit that 3, and Boley comes out on her a little bit. Swing it around to Jeffries. Jeffries goes in on Stinson. Over it goes now to Micaiah Bowden. And here's Penn, about a 10-footer. Rolls in there. She got the kind roll.
It's already showing up to be the Penn and Boley show so far.
And what did we say in the pregame? That's the 2 players we said would be the key to this game. 6-4. Here's a shot out of the baseline. Rattles in, and Miss Thomas is not too loud up there, Mr. Warfield. I can knock down the jumper, too. It's 8-4. E-Town has doubled up on Butler here. 5:22 in the first quarter. Long pass goes now to Bowden. the senior. Down low, and here's Just Shot, rolls off and rebounded by Thomas. Taylor Thomas gives it to Jada Stinson. Stinson being recruited by Western, UNC Charlotte. About 5 schools, we understand, are after her service. He's only a junior. Down low to Boley. Boley powers it up and draws the foul. Penn was there, Bowden was there. Pick your poison, William.
Well, that was a good bounce pass into traffic there to Boley. Good dish there by Stinson.
Foul went on Jalen Penn. At the line will be Aaron Boley. She's got the bucket with the left hand, now looking for the 2 free throws, and if free throws up, knocks it down. She was perfect yesterday in their game from the line, where she had 25 points. It's 9-4 E-Town, and into the game, Jana Lewis has checked in, the junior has checked into the game, and Holly Lockhart, the 6'3 sophomore, has checked in for Butler. Also in is Terry Goodlett. So Butler going deep into that bench already. 10-4, Boley connects on both free throws, 4 points.
Both benches are deep. That's another thing in this ball game is everybody goes about 10 deep for both teams.
Lewis in the middle to Penn. Penn left side and lost control of it. Double dribbled though. She put the shot up and in, but before the made shot, she double dribbled. 10-4, E-Town lead in the basketball now with 4:42, William, here in the first quarter. And Penn that time, nice move, but there was a lot of bodies there in their way. 3 E-Town defenders there.
And they all spread out too very well.
Stinson for E-Town across the line, picking up the pace. Now cut off there by Lockhart. Lob down to Boley, posting up on Lewis. Boley, a baseline jumper, good. 6 for Boley, and the lead is 8 for E-Town, 12-4.
There's absolutely no high percentage shots in her game so far today. Everything she's had to work for.
But she's also got the complete range, as we said.
Yep.
There's a 3-pointer off the iron there on the long shot taken by Torrens, but rebounded by Butler. And then the shot by Goodlett knocked down. Goodlett makes it 12-6.
She squared herself just right on that jump shot.
And what a coach just telling us the pregame said, we got to hit the glass. Warden is going to be hit hard, knocked to the floor. She was our pregame interview. Rachel headed to Tampa to play her college basketball. So you got a Tampa commit, 3 D1 players on this in this starting lineup. That's pretty strong in high school basketball to have 3 D1 players in your starting lineup.
You probably got at least 5 out there on the floor too, right?
Exactly. Penn can play some college basketball. Probably Lewis could probably play some college basketball for Butler. There's probably a couple of them on there. Just could probably play small college. Boley way out top circle, 3-pointer, bullseye. That's 9 for Aaron Boley, and the lead is 9, 15-6 E-Town. 3:38 here in the first quarter. Boley with the long-range connection.
Dropping it like it's hot here in Lexington, KY.
She can drop it from anywhere. Right side, Lockhart looking. Skips it over. Boley taps it and steals it. Boley read that one all the way. Getting back, Boley to the basket, hanging and scoring.
And I like the shot adjustment Boley had. She knew that there was speed coming behind her, trying to strip that basketball. She did a little pump. Gary Ball got it to go in. Good shot.
Good steal and timeout by Larry Justin Butler, 17-6. E-Town on top, the championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic. We'll return here to Lexington Catholic after this timeout.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Gary Ball, William Warfield back here, the championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic, and Erin Boley has brought her A game. She's got 11 points already. We're still in the first quarter of action for E-Town, the state's top player, number 5 in the country, according to most college prospects. And when you look at any poll, she's up there among the elite in the nation, not just the number 1 player in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, she come in so far dominating this performance today.
Torrens picked up by Stinson on the steal. Stinson's got 3-on-1. Warden to her right, throws it up and in. Stinson with a little floater.
She had options to her left, to her right. She decided to go straight down the middle.
Yep, with the little floater in the paint. Kick it in the corner now. Skip it over the right side to Torrens, and she gives it out just open from three, off the front of the iron, no, and just trying to track it down. Good hustle. Gives it to her teammate. Out top it goes now to Bria Torrens. Now the ball knocked away, back to Lewis though. Jana picks it up, goes down on the dribble, kicks it in the corner. Now they go back to just open from three. They need it. It's off the iron, no, but they get a nice rebound there by Bowden. Bounce pass in the middle. Goodlet turns and scores. Goodlet's got a good mid-range jumper, William. I like her jumper from 10 feet in, or 10 feet out even. 19-8.
That's her second jump shot today.
Absolutely. She has 4. 2:12 here in the first. 19-8 E-Town by 11. Gary Ball with William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Here's Warden lining up the three. Rattles in and out. Boley comes in, gets a hand on it, but Goodlet says, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Good ball handling right there by Goodlet.
Goodlet skips it in the corner. Bowden fakes now, and Boley gets her up in the air. Little runner won't go. Inside position by Lewis. So climbing her back is going to be E-Town's Ramsey Deaton. Foul, team's first foul against E-Town.
Just to update everybody else, how about Mercy defeating Bowling Green in the previous game?
That was a great ball game. Bowling Green had a three-pointer there at the end and had it dropped in, would have sent it to overtime, but Mercy with the big win over Bowling Green. That's a big win for Mercy.
Big win.
Lob in the corner now, goes to Butler, and they swing it back out now, give it out there to Tasia Jeffries.
Jeffries has been quiet so far, too. It's only a matter of time before she heats up in this one.
Jeffries gave it up to Just. Here's Lewis. Kicks it back to Jeffries. They go down to Lewis. Turns wide open off the iron. No, but rebounded by her teammate Goodlet, and she rolls it in there. Boy, Goodlet's got a nice jumper. That's 6 for Terry Goodlet, and it's 19-10. So Butler with a little mini run here after they were down by 13.
On that jump shot, she releases with both hands. It's not just with one where she pushes off, you know, with the wrist. She's doing it with both hands.
Minute 9 here, William, in the first period, and it's E-Town 19, Butler 10. We're going to get quickly in will be Carson Knight. Going out will be Rachel Warden, the senior for E-Town. Also, Sky Brown, the junior, is in for E-Town.
Gary, while we got an opportunity, White Greer and Maggard Orthodontics, for all your orthodontics needs, check those fine folks out over at White Greer and Maggard Orthodontics.
Thanks to all of our sponsors. Of course, White Greer, Maggard, they've been there throughout the season. Boley gives to Knight, to Stinson. Down to 48 seconds here in the first quarter. E-Town by 9. They have the lead in the basketball. Stinson.
I don't know if it's the jerseys that E-Town has on right now, but Boley looks really lean out there today.
Boley off glass and puts it down. 13 for Boley, and it's 21-10 E-Town.
Guess it doesn't matter when you're scoring like that.
She's got some moves around the basket, and, of course, she's got that jumper, too. Nate knocked down a 3 here in this first quarter. 20 seconds, and Butler needs a big possession here. Larry Just knows that. 17 seconds. They're down 11 to number 1 ranked E-Town. Number 1 and number 2 in the state. Pre-Christmas special here on PrepSpin and also the traditional lob down low. Great catch, and off glass won't roll. There's Lewis battling, and on the floor, and that's the clock's going to run out. So Butler will not get a shot off there. They were hoping to get the ball in possession to get a shot off. Great first quarter by E-Town. In particular, Aaron Boley with 13 of their 21 points. They lead at 21-10 as we head to the second quarter at the Traditional Bank Championship game.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White Greer and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White Greer and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White Greer and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Back here at the championship game of the Traditional Bank Classic with William Warfield and Emma Eiler, Gary Ball here on PrepSpin, and, of course, White Greer Maggard Game of the Week, Traditional Bank Classic, Lexington Catholic, and it is Butler and E-Town, and E-Town dominated that first quarter, particularly Erin Boley with 13 points of the team's 21, and she did it from all phases of the game, William.
She did, yeah, and she's looking really, really sharp out there today. Lean and sharp.
Very composed. Brown, skip it around to Warden tonight. Now they go back to Brown, looking down low. Boley gets a cut and a hook up and in. Boley, boy, that's a great pass out there by Sky Brown.
Well, even Boley, you know, she took a cut there on that baseline and was able to get the back door.
23-10. That is 15 for Boley now. Average is 27. She's going to probably up that average today. To the basket, floater rolls off there for Jeffries and rebounded by E-Town. They give it to Rachel Warden. She was our pre-interview, Miss Warden, up here high atop the floor. Carson Knight back over it goes. They swing it around and go down low to Boley. Boley turns baseline, bullseye. Boy, she's just not missing, William. Everything's nothing but net. She's got 17 already.
Yeah, she's on.
25-10. Jeffries kicks it in the corner to Lewis. Out they swing it now to Brittany Just. They give it to Brittany. They go over to Jeffries. In the corner, they kick it now to Bowden. Swing it back to Jeffries. Jeffries into the lane. Back over to Bowden, about a 15-footer. Off the iron and rebounded by Thomas. Taylor there with the board. 6.5 to play first half. All E-Town. They lead 25-10 over this very good Butler team.
Yeah, E-Town just wanting more right now. Butler not really having a big offensive attack yet.
Butler borrowing a page from the Lady Panthers, though, going to that 2-3 zone defense. Brown back out to Warden. Over to Boley. Right side free throw line extended. Kicks it back to Brown. Back to Rachel Warden. Back to Sky Brown.
And, you know, I'd almost do a box one if I was Butler right now.
Thomas. Knight, that's Knight with the ball. Lobs it back to Rachel Warden. 5:50 to go, and E-Town running clock here with a 15-point lead. Knight hands it to Erin Boley. Boley lines up a three. Bullseye. Wow. She is not missing, folks. The All-Stater, the Miss Basketball candidate, is looking like an All-American today. 28-10.
Nothing but net.
And that's been every shot. She's liking these rooms here at the Buter Gym. Skip it over left side now to Bowden. Turn around, and here's Goodlet's 15-footer, no good, rebounded by Warden. And boy, I tell you, E-Town with a big 28-10 lead and the basketball. 5:10 to go in the first half. Warden over to Knight, swing it to Bowden. Now over it goes to Boley, Erin Boley puts it down, now fakes, back to Warden with 4:56. Rachel Warden just surveying the situation out there, pounding the basketballs, got it on a yo-yo.
The only shot Boley's missed today, she got back, you know, just sprung right back on that.
And put it up with the offhand and made it.
Yeah.
And here's a travel call as Warden was trying to kick it off tonight, turn it over, and we're going to have wholesale subs in for Butler. We're going to have Molly Lockhart, a 6'3 sophomore. We're going to have Allison Just, a 5'9 senior. And we're also going to have Torrens and Bria Torrens, the 5'5 junior. Torrens has got the basketball. Her and Jeffrey in the middle. Throws it right to E-Town's Knight. Knight's got the numbers. 3-on-2. Kicks it over to Warden. 15-footer right side. Off the front of the iron. No. Battle for it. Lockhart pulls it off with that 6'3 frame. And the ponytails. As you talked about last night, William.
Yes, sir. So we got some fine folks from Traditional Bank going to come up here and talk with us.
Yeah, Bill Potter from Traditional Bank. We're set to chat with him. 28-10. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. It's all E-Town. And Erin Boley, my goodness, what a game. She said a couple of threes, ball turned around, turned over. I show her with 18 points on my sheet, unofficially, 18 points.
Oh, she's got every bit of that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I got her with. Here's Mr. Potter, Bill Potter here with Traditional Bank. Okay, we'll get a headset on him, get him to Mr. Potter. Hi, Bill. Bill Potter, right? Bill Potter. Yeah, Bill, put your headset on there. We'll put you to work here, Bill. How about that? We'll get you to call some of this action with us here. It's all E-Town, and Lockhart with a follow-up. Good job by Lockhart. And it's 28-12. Bill Potter joins us, and thanks for what Traditional Bank does here with this Traditional Bank Classic.
Well, we're really happy to support, high school athletics, and we're just a proud sponsor of the tournament this year.
What great event, too. Here's a shot out of the corner. Warden misses the three. There's Boley to rebound, knocked out. Official right there on top of it. And let's see what he calls here. Looks like he's going to give the ball back to E-Town. And, the thing about it, there's been such great competition, great teams in this tournament. That's what you guys like to see at Traditional Bank, right?
It is, a great matchup here. You got two of the top teams in the state, so great to watch.
28-12 right now as E-Town dominating. Bill Potter from Traditional Bank joined us here. And in the corner with it is Tanisha Murphy. She just checked into the ball game while Bill joined us here. So Murphy in there. They swing it back out front to Stinson, Jada Stinson, the D1 player. Stinson stops, backs up, a little short on that one, and good hustle there. And let's see what the official says. He says the E-Town player was stepping out of bounds. Give it to Butler. And, you guys have been involved with this for a couple of years now, and it seems like the crowds have been good, and you got the boys tournament starting the day after Christmas, so it just extends into next week, doesn't it, Bill?
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited with the partnership and excited to support the tournament. And you're right, boys will be next week, and it'll be a great tournament next week.
What do you think, Bill? I mean, you like your sports. Butler, if Butler gets this down to maybe 10, 12 points at halftime, I think they would feel pretty comfortable because Boley of E-Town has just dominated this first half. Aaron Boley's got 18 points already.
I don't think she's missed a shot, or maybe one. Yeah.
She's the real deal. There's Warden running the floor, kicks it over to Thomas. Thomas high off glass, no, but draws the foul. She'll go to the line. Bill Potter joined us from Traditional Bank, and your commitment with this tournament is probably, is it going into next year, maybe years beyond? Is it a multi-year type situation?
It is. We're excited. We have a 5-year, commitment, so we're excited for that.
Let's get that, get that mic up there a little closer so we can hear you. We want to hear everything you're saying, Bill. Bill Potter joined us here from Traditional Bank, 29-12, and at the line is Thomas. She made the first one, and the second one is perfect. 8 points for Taylor. 30-12, E-Town by 18. Traditional Bank Classic here at Langston Catholic championship game, number 1 and number 2. Butler right now finds themselves trailing this very good E-Town team by 18. Might be a travel there by Penn. And when you look at high school athletics and sports, Bill, how important is that? I mean, when you play high school sports, it seems like kids do better academically. You know how to get along with people, things like that. Very important to Traditional Bank, isn't it?
Well, they do. High school sports to me teach a lot more than just the game itself, but life lessons, whether it's leadership or commitment and hard work. So, that can be used, their whole life.
Exactly, in anything they pursue. But we appreciate everything you guys do at Traditional Bank. It's a local bank. That's what you like about it. Bill Alverson, I believe, is your president, CEO. Is that correct?
He sure is. But we've been around since 1902, and we're in 5 counties in central Kentucky, and local bank. And part of our responsibility is to support the local communities.
They got to get more of that, Bill. They got to get more. Jalen Penn. Penn put that up with the left hand. It's 30-14. She's got 6. A minute 50 here in the first half. Bill Potter joined us with Traditional Bank, the title sponsor of this tournament. Stinson scissoring in between defenders, and man, she's got that dribble drive going, doesn't she? That Calipari likes so much.
Maybe we can use her on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Kentucky Louisville play Saturday at noon at Rupp Arena, and Kentucky going through a few growing pains right now, aren't they?
They are. Hopefully they can grow up pretty quick.
Minute 44 here in this one. And we got, as we said, substitutions coming in. Back into the game is Bowden. Back into the game is Lewis for Butler. And Goodlet's back in there. And Boley's got the basketball. Aaron, 15-footer out front, short of the iron. Pulled down there by Butler's Bria Torrens. Torrens down the right side, high bounce. Skips it over in the corner now to Goodlet. Minute 30. Goodlet surveying the situation. It's a 2-3 zone by E-Town. They swing it around the right side now. Bowden bounces down low to Lewis. She kicks it back out top. Here's a three-pointer good, and that's an air ball. Body's hitting the floor here at the Buter Gymnasium. And the thing about it, too, when you sponsor this tournament, the Traditional Bank Classic, you're also sponsoring such a great academic school like Lexington Catholic, a blue ribbon school that I think 95, 96, maybe higher % of their students get their first college choice here at Lex Cath.
That's right, and sports and academics can go hand in hand, and it's great to have a nice balance between both.
Minute 10 here, 30-14. It's been all E-Town. They have really been dominant in this Traditional Bank Classic throughout from the opening buzzer when they played Bracken County. Here's Boley, baseline, off the mark. She made, like you said, Bill, made her first 6 or 7 shots, but she's missed a couple, so she is human after all. 50 seconds. Bad pass, and Penn tried to throw it behind Goodlet, and Goodlet was backing up a little bit. Turn it over, 48 seconds. That's going to get Just up off the Butler bench. Allison, the, of course, daughter of the head coach, Larry Just. 47 seconds. Jada Stinson. Down to 42, and I think, Bill, I think E-Town will probably be very, very patient here with just 38 seconds and a 16-point lead. Why not?
Right.
Stinson's going to pound it down. She does have it on a yo-yo out there by the big LC emblem here at Lexington Catholic. Down to 26 seconds. It really does look like she's got that ball on a yo-yo, doesn't it? See that string coming out every time she dribbles it? Down to 18 seconds. Now she backs back up. What a great half by Boley. I show Aaron Boley with 18 points here in the first half. 30-14, 10 seconds. They give it to Boley out top. She moves down the left elbow, about a 12. She's hammered hard to the floor. Hard foul there. And Boley will go to the line. You're sending one of the best free throw shooters. The young girl's got the complete game. I gave 3 numbers on her last night in the game, Bill Potter from Traditional Bank, 69, 52, and 91. She shoots almost 70% from the field, over 52% behind the three-point line, and 91% at the charity stripe. Those are 3 pretty impressive numbers.
That's a good player to have on your squad.
And she makes that free throw. She's going to have 20 points here at halftime. She has single-handedly outscored Butler, who's a very good basketball team. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a nice spread here for E-Town at halftime with 6 seconds. They lead 31-14, and, of course, one of the best free throw shooters in the state at the line. And she finally shows she is human and misses a free throw. She was 10 for 10 prior to that from last night and tonight. Shot won't go off the mark for Just. As we head to halftime, and Bill Potter, thank you, sir, for all you do. And thanks to Traditional Bank for sponsoring this great tournament. We'll look forward to seeing you and bringing you back in for one of the boys' games. How's that sound?
Look forward to it.
Thank you, Bill. Bill Potter from
Bye-bye.
Traditional Bank. And we're at halftime. It's 31-14. Elizabethtown on top of Butler. Thanks to Bill Potter from Traditional Bank for joining us here, the title sponsor here at the Traditional Bank Classic. 31-14. E-Town behind Aaron Boley. They lead it here at halftime. We'll be back with more here from the Traditional Bank Classic, and thanks to White Greer Maggard as well. We're back here just about set for the second half. Gary Ball, William Warfield, and Emma Eiler here on PrepSpin and the White Greer Maggard Traditional Bank Classic here at Lexington Catholic High School. Championship game, and boy, I tell you what, William, big first half for the All-Stater Aaron Boley. 21 points in that first half for Aaron Boley. She outscored Butler 21-14 herself. The rest of her ball club chipped in with 10 points.
Yeah, she's definitely made an outing right here again against the number 2 team in the state. You know, that just goes into her you know, skill set, or not skill set, but that just goes into her bag of, you know, her case of being Kentucky Miss Basketball.
Yeah, she's making a strong case for that here early on. Of course, you know, the little Creech girl from Jenkins making a strong case too, with 69 points yesterday for Jenkins, averaging 52 points on the season. The senior at Jenkins High School. But Erin Boley, of course, is headed to Notre Dame. Big-time player. She's got all the skills to pay the bills.
I saw Notre Dame put out when she signed with them, they put out a tweet about her and had her picture on there and all that good stuff. And Notre Dame got a steal there.
31-14, and Butler probably turns the ball over in their first possession. That's what you don't want to do when you're down 17 to this solid E-Town team. Stinson down the lane and rolls it up and in. Stinson using the right hand that time for the lefty. 33-14. Long pass. Here's Penn off glass. No. Rebounded by Boley, and E-Town wants to push it to Stinson. Crossing over on Jeffries. Loops it back out to her teammate there, and that is Deaton. Ramsey Deaton. Stinson's got it. 7:15 to go in the third, and it's all E-Town. 33-14. Earlier today, Mercy got a big win by 3 over Bowling Green.
What's coming up next for us, Gary? We got so much stuff going on right now.
Traditional Bank Boys Tournament.
That's right.
Right here at Catholic. Starts the day after Christmas.
Should have known that.
I'll be here Sunday night for the Lexington Catholic Boys game.
Yes, sir.
Penn, no good. About a 10-footer. Here comes E-Town. Pushing it. Stinson throws it behind Boley and throws it out of bounds. Greg Todd over there, the former Lexington Catholic coach, now the head coach at Morehead State, as Miss Ramsey's or Miss Deaton over there helping out Mr. Todd.
You talk about making an impact. Let's just knock all of his drinks over and all that good stuff.
Yep. 6:40 to go here in the third. 33-14. Lockhart bounces down to Just. Back to Bowden. Excuse me, that's Bowden. Bowden and Lockhart both wear those 2 ponytails.
Well, can't really say it's been a good game. Obviously, it has for E-Town.
Yeah.
I was figuring it was going to be a lot of back and forth of basketball, but E-Town just showing again why they're number 1.
I think right now it's survival of the fittest, so to speak. And I think right now you're seeing a tired Butler team.
They're a lot slower today than
they're not playing with the quicks they've had in this tournament. Here's a long 3. Rattles out, went halfway down. Do you give her at least 2 points for that one? No, you don't. 33-14. That went halfway down and came out. That 3-pointer for Tasia Jeffries, the junior. Stinson. Corner to Warden. They go back now to Thomas, spinning. Gives it back out to Warden. Deaton setting up in the corner. Warden angles toward the right side, though, with 5:43 to play. Now hands it to Skipping in the corner now. And here's Deaton lining up the 3. Off the iron, no. Boley with a nice rebound. Aaron spins, throws it up, and draws the foul. So Boley will go to the charity stripe. Shoot 2 with her ball club up 19. 5:35 in the third. Aaron Boley up there, the senior. 91% free throw shooter.
She's so good that we got 3 Panthers in the backcourt right now. She ain't going to miss that. We're going to get back on defense.
Yeah, pretty much know that she's going to make it. Got one player over there getting coached on the sideline with her at the line. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, it looks like Stinson.
Yeah, you can do a lot of coaching when Aaron Boley's at the charity stripe. Knocks them both down. 23 now for Boley. The lead is 21. E-Town, 35-14. 5:30 in the third. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Emma Eiler here from the Buter Gymnasium. Championship game, Traditional Bank Classic. Jeffries high off window, no, goes after it. Penn takes a little bit of a shot, but ball goes out of bounds to E-Town.
I'll tell you what, this gym Lexington Catholic has, it's one of the nicer gyms in the state.
And it's 94 feet, just like a college floor. That's why a lot of teams like playing on too, because that's what you'll be playing on if you make it to the Sweet 16.
Yep.
94-foot college floor. They made this gym just for that, for the 94 feet. Extended, regular high school gym's 84.
That's a good point.
Deaton. Over to Stinson. Stinson out top. Stinson spinning to the bat. Now hanging and in and out. Rebounded. Boley sticks it up. No, Boley gets it back. Powers it up. Won't go and draws the foul. That's just vintage Aaron Boley. They're going to war, wanting that a little bit more than anybody else on the floor.
I think, it must be tough to walk in the halls there of E-Town High School if you're on the boys team knowing that the girls team's better than you are. That's true. They know that they'd have a fight against this girls team, don't they? Yep. I don't know how good E-Town's boys team is this year, but I'm sure they're pretty good. I don't think that they are as good as the girls team, though.
Well, the girls team, not only number one in the state, they win this game against this good Butler team. They might crack that national ranking, that USA Today 25. They're that good, I think.
Yeah.
Bowden, swing it around. Goodlett moves in on Stinson. Gives it up back on the right side to your girl, Jana Lewis, who just checked in.
I like Lewis. I wish she would have got a little bit more playing time.
Here's the three. Won't go for Goodlett. Rebounded by Lewis. Stops from 10. Good. There you go. Right on cue. You know what? That's her first basket of this game. That's hard to believe with her game. That's her first bucket.
She needs to be posting up a little bit more, though.
I agree.
If she does her post-up game, she could be a real factor in the game. But, obviously it's a little too late right now for that. But
37-16. E-Town by 21. Jada Stinson directing traffic. Hands it off to Rachel Warden. Warden gets a pick from Boley. Now hands it back to Stinson. Down low, they swing it to Boley. Boley wide open now to Deaton. Lets the three rip, and it's off the iron. No, and there's Lewis battling, and Boley might have gone over her back.
Yep, Lewis was able to block out right there, and Boley over the back. And, that's one of those good things that Lewis does is out there. She gets the position on those rebounds.
And one thing about Miss Lewis, she has the frame and the
she definitely she's powerful underneath there.
But the E-Town guys are 1 and 3 on the season. 3-pointer won't go for Jeffries. Rebounded by Warden. Warden skips it down low. Boley. Aaron catches, lays it up and in.
So we're just going to throw it up, and Aaron, you go get it.
27 for Boley. She's already got her average. She averages 27 points, 11 rebounds with 3:05 to go in the third. 39-16. It's the Lady Panthers leading the Barrettes. Shot won't go for Penn. Boley got a hand. Boley hits the floor hard, comes down, looks like 2. With the back of her head, might have got the knee there of Miss Bowden. But looks like Aaron's okay.
She came down, and then, like you said, the knee got the back there, back of her head. She's got her hair up kind of in a bun, though. That might have helped her out a little bit.
Probably softened that blow a little bit. Here's Jeffries at 3. Good. Tasia Jeffries knocking down the trifecta from top of the circle. 39-19. E-Town by 20. 2:38 here in the third quarter.
See if Butler can manage a run here.
Stinson, what a great ball handle. Lost control of it, though. Bissell right there is going to give it back to E-Town. That looked like it might have gone off of Stinson, but they're going to give it back to E-Town.
Coach Mudd over there talking with Stinson, told her to sit down on the bench.
Yeah, take it easy, young lady. We're up 20. 2:28 to go in the third. Now Warden looks like she'll be running the point. Hands it off to Murphy. Tanisha Murphy just checked in. That's, I think, Knight. Yeah, Carson Knight's back in there. Give it up over to Murphy. Out to Knight. Knight to Murphy. Bounce pass knocked away and stolen by Jeffries. Jeffries clears it out to Goodlett. Now Butler 3-on-3. There's Jana Lewis, strong to the basket, won't go. Powers gets it back off glass, rolls off, she'll go to the line. A little spark here by Butler here in the third quarter.
Well, you saw Lewis definitely up on the board there. Nobody else. There was 3 Panthers around her. None of them had a chance to get that basketball.
Not with that
she wanted it.
Physical presence, too. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. She wanted it.
She got it. Free throw, she missed it. Taylor Thomas in, and going out will be Murphy. Just back in for Butler. Minute 57 in the third.
What you got going on this week?
I'm
Christmas-wise?
heading out of town. Heading out of town, Mr. Warfield. And Butler hustling, getting after the ball now. Heading to Meade County, down in Brandenburg near Fort Knox for a couple of days. You staying in Uniontown?
I'm in town.
Then
I'm
you'll
stay
be
in town. I've been out of town, so daggone much. I'm going to stay in town for Christmas this year.
Bowley beating the full court press by Butler. Bounce knocked away by Jeffers. She saves it back to Penn. Like I said, this is the old Butler. This is a Butler we've seen in this tournament right here in the last couple minutes.
Somebody might have woke up the Bearettes.
Yes. Down low, Lewis. She's going to power it up. No, and draw the foul. Had that gone, it would have counted for Jana Lewis. She'll go to the line, shoot 2. Here late in the third, we've seen a spark here by Butler. E-Town still with the big 39-20 lead, but Butler has shown a little bit more flash of brilliance here late in the third.
There's still plenty of time in this ball game. I kind of written Butler off, but
well, you got to make free throws though. When you stop the clock, you get fouled. You got to make your free throws, and Lewis has missed 2 out of her last 3.
Yep.
She does have the field goal. She's got to learn to finish around that basket when she's got an opportunity. She knocks it down.
Sometimes, you know, it's just the presence of Bowley being in there that you're.
Bowley has it knocked away. Penn's got a steal. Here comes Butler. Penn, hop, skip, and a lay. Missed the layup, though, and rebounded, pulled out of there by E-Town's Brown. Long pass down floor to Thomas. Blocked from behind. Picked up by Bowley. Off glass, good. She will get the soup and the sandwich from Rafferty's.
E-Town was wanting a foul there on Lewis coming from behind on that block. She did get her a little bit with the body, but that was after the ball was blocked. And you know,
I thought the block was clean.
I think it was all ball, but she did get her with the hips. Definitely. But Bowley made up for it and puts one up and in.
That's 30 points for Aaron Bowley. She has 30.
And 1.
Yes, and 1. 42-21. They've doubled up the lead after Butler made a little bit of a spurt. E-Town flexes their muscles. Here's Jeffries a long 3. Bullseye again. That's a second 3 by Tasia Jeffries. Yeah. Knocked away by Penn. 42-24. Minute 1 to go here in the third. This is the state's #1 team, E-Town. State's #2 team, Butler. And Aaron Bowley and company have dominated. She's got 30 of the 42 points, and E-Town leads by 18. That's Rachel Warden headed to Tampa.
These two may meet down the road again.
Whistle on a foul call. Second foul on Allison Just, team's 4th foul. 3 team fouls have been called against E-Town. 55 ticks of the clock left in the third. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Emma Eiler. We're going to get back in for Butler to be Micaiah Bowden.
Emma's been quiet all day, hasn't she? Ain't said a word.
She's what?
I said Emma's been quiet all day, hasn't said a word.
Emma, well, she's running that camera over there, man. She does a good job. But you're right, she's been very quiet. 42-24, but we have it. You and I are always talking.
Yes, sir.
Bounce pass, lead out to Just. Just hangs, left hand, put it down.
Nice.
Tough shot by Allison. 42-26.
I like how she switched from the right to the left on that.
Yeah. Murphy in there. Skips it over to Thomas. Thomas baseline. Ball stripped out of there. Good. I thought she had a clean steal. Official says foul, and it's going to go on Butler, and it's going to go on Terry Goodlett.
You're seeing a more aggressive Butler team right now than what we started out in the ballgame with.
They're scratching, clawing, trying to get back in this thing. They're trying to get it down to 10 points before. Well, I don't think they're going to do it before the 4th quarter, but that's where they'd like to have it, down around 10 points. But right now it's 16, but until Thomas just knocked down that free throw. Jalen Penn in, going out Goodlett.
You know, E-Town hasn't allowed an opponent to have over 57 points all season long.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, that 2-3 defense they play and how solid it is.
And that was a rival, John Harden, over there.
Yeah, Harden gave him a good game, didn't he?
Yeah.
66-57 back on December 12th. 44-26 here. 10 seconds. Lob down low. Turning around. Bowden hands it to Penn. She backs up, lines up the three. Got it!
Well, there's Penn.
Jalen Penn.
And if we can only find Teller out there, we'll be good. I just threw that out there,
Yeah.
you know. But
that's a Vegas show. You've been out in Vegas too long.
Yeah, I went out to Vegas.
44-29. The lead is for E-Town. We'll come back with the final quarter here. Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic after this on PrepSpin.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Gary Ball, William Warfield, Emma Eiler back here at the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic, 44-29, and Butler will start with the basketball here. And nice quarter there by Butler in that they came up with a good quarter. They had 15 points. They had more points than that. Here's a layup by Penn. They had more points in the third than they did the entire first half, is the point I'm trying to make here as Penn lays it up and in.
Yeah, Coach Mudd might want to consider, you know, putting somebody else on Penn right now because it's a mismatch.
Warden stops and pops and bullseye. That's the first basket by Rachel. Nice looking jumper there, 46-31.
You know she stole the pregame though.
Yes, she did. Left hand rolled out of there for Molly Lockhart, and the 6'3 sophomore will go to the line and shoot a couple of free tosses for Larry Just and the Butler Barrettes out of Louisville, Kentucky. It's a Louisville Elizabethtown championship game here at the Traditional Bank Classic. It'll be Lockhart up there, the Molly, a 6'3 sophomore for Butler.
Got people commenting here. Said nobody is in the same class as Boley in Kentucky in the 2016 class. It says Creech, who's averaging, 50-some-odd points a game, is they consider her a mid-major right now, not really a D1 prospect. But,
travel by E-Town. Well, you know, everybody has their opinion.
Everybody does.
Creech is obviously a prolific scorer. I'm not sure Creech has as much talent around her at Jenkins. Jenkins.
Yeah, see,
as Miss Boley does here at E-Town. Miss Boley's got two other Division I players around her.
So Jenkins isn't playing, you know, the Butlers and the
Bowling
Mercies
Greens,
and
the Mercies, yeah.
all those teams.
They're probably playing mountain teams down there because of travel, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's expensive to travel anymore. 46-32. Here's a three-pointer, and that's off the mark there for Torrance, but rebounded. Bowden, and they're going to say Bowden travel with it.
Ooh. Well, they're not getting a break on that call. But 46-32, Gary Ball, can Butler put that run together that they so desperately need?
Made a little mini run there in the third quarter late, particularly last 3 minutes or so. That's Carson Knight. High pass, throws it over the head of Rachel Warden, and it'll go to Butler. So I would think if Butler could come down here, knock down a three, William, and then maybe get it down to single digits, it's anybody's ball game at that point.
You know, this is shades of the Elite Eight game last year that E-Town lost to, where they had so many turnovers.
Boley got a hand on it. Knight with the steal to the basket, and she's going to be grabbed there by Jeffries, and Jeffries goes down.
Yeah. Jeffries took, might have been an elbow or a forearm or something right to the grill right there.
That'll bring out the trainers who've done a great job at this tournament. boy, the athletic trainers do such an integral part of keeping these high school athletes in the games. And thanks to all the folks here at Lexington Catholic for the hospitality this whole week. We mentioned it last night, William, but we want to thank, of course, Kevin Brueggemann, who was here earlier in the week, and Brad Carter, the athletic director, who's out here the last couple days, and saw him today, and Mr. Griggs, I believe, who helped us a lot too. He's off for the holidays now, but Merry Christmas to him. He's a great guy.
You know, he's one of the top softball guys in the state. I don't know if you know that or not. He puts on that East-West All-Star game and has a lot to do with softball. His daughter was good at softball.
That's right. 47-32. Knight was able to knock down the second free throw. 6:38 to play. Butler needs some possessions, and they need good possessions. Penn knows that. Strong move to the basket. Scoop, misses, foul called before the shot there. And that is going to be the fifth team foul against E-Town, so they've got another foul to give before it to be the bonus for Butler. Penn open from three, launches, knocks it down. What did I say in the pregame? In the pregame, I said the key to this game for Butler is Jalen Penn.
Well, Morehead State, Kentucky, and all those other coaches who are in the attendance over there on that far sideline right now.
Yeah, they're liking what they see.
Penn.
She's only a junior.
She reminds me of Michaela Epps so much.
Yeah, 47-35, because she can shoot the three like Michaela.
Yeah.
Handle the ball. She's athletic, quick, plays good defense. Aaron Boley with those 30 big ones. Launches and make it 33 big ones. 33 for Aaron Boley. When her team needed a basket, she knocked down the three. 5:56 to go in the game. It's E-Town 50, Butler 35 when we return here to the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic after this timeout. Welcome back here. Who got the PrepSpin banner out of the press box for us, Mr. Warfield?
I went over there myself.
You went over there and snatched it, huh? Because you got a key, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a fun tournament. I'm looking forward to working with you on the Traditional Bank Boys Classic that gets underway Saturday. I'll be here Sunday night for the who do the Catholic boys play Sunday night? I haven't even looked at that. Been covering so many girls games. Not sure who they play.
Yeah, I think we all just been focused on the girls right now, but we'll have all those games scheduled for everybody.
We'll switch gears. We'll have the Catholic boys game Sunday night right here. I'll be calling that with William on the Traditional Bank Classic. 50-35.
Coach Brandon Salzman and Luke Johnson and those guys.
Jalen Penn gives it over to Lewis. Back to Penn. It's like E-Town's in more of a 1-2-2 right now, backing up into maybe a matchup on Penn. No. Down low to Jana Lewis. Lewis posting. Kicks it out. Just lines up the three. Off the iron, no. And Thomas there battling with Just. Thomas in trouble. Dribbles out of it. Scoops it over to Rachel Warden. Warden across the timeline. Gives to Boley. 5:12 to play. 50-35. And E-Town on top of Butler here at the Traditional Bank Championship game. Boley bounce pass. Kicking in the corner now to Murphy. Thomas lobs to Boley in traffic. Boley grabs it. Bounces back to Warden. 4:50 to play. E-Town running clock here, William, with a 15-point lead. Why not?
Yep.
Brown has the basketball. She got it from Tanisha Murphy.
Wonder if there'll ever be a day where we see a shot clock in high school.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking the NFHS is kind of looking at that right now. I guess the only problem I'm hearing from the KHSA folks is all the gyms and all the high schools being able to get those clocks, those shot clock, timers.
Catholics obviously ready.
They have them. They have them. You're right. They have them on the boards right now. But you're right. I think it's time for that, as long as all the schools could provide it. Boley She's just automatic at the stripe.
Certainly make the scoring go up a little bit, I think.
34. I've got, I'll check with my official score over here. See what we've got. How many we got for Boley? Is that 34 or 35? 35 for Boley. 35 for Miss Boley. She's equaled Butler's output herself. It's Butler 35, Aaron Boley 35. But the problem with that is E-Town's other players have contributed 17, so they're up by 17, 52-35. That's not a problem at all.
Not at all.
Kicked away, picked up by Penn. Penn knocked to the floor, saying, come on, give me a call here. And the official does.
She took a knee right to the ribs.
She did. That was a shot. She went down fast.
Yeah, she did.
That was like a Mike Tyson left hook.
You know
Younger Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well, younger Mike Tyson. They said, if you put a phone book over your head and had a Major League Baseball player swing the bat as hard as he could, that's how hard Mike Tyson hit. No lie, that's what I heard.
Like a baseball bat, huh?
A baseball bat, hitting a phone book.
My goodness. That wouldn't feel very good at all. Wide open, Goodlet, good. Lays it in. 8 for Terry Goodlet, the junior, 52-37. And Warden just throws it off of the Butler player. Good heads-up play.
Boley going to inbound here on the sideline.
Got an itch on the top of my head. 52-37.
Somebody's thinking about you.
Yep. Out it goes to Deaton. And they throw it down low, knocked away by Butler. You know, the third quarter, the last 3 minutes of the third, and this second half, Butler's played much better basketball than they did that first half when they were totally dominated. It was 31-14 at halftime.
There might have been a few adjustments there in the locker room that Coach made, and Butler responded.
3:40 to play, and E-Town leads 52-37 here. Of course, I want to thank Rafferty's Restaurants in E-Town and Rafferty's in Louisville for sponsoring this high school basketball game. Scott Lindsay and Rafferty's with a special as you. They got the open face prime rib, salads, soups, and the sandwiches at Rafferty's Restaurants. And just thanks to Rafferty's for all they do for high school sports, and thanks for sponsoring E-Town and Butler. We'll be back here for the Saturday for the Traditional Bank Classic. That will be Saturday right here at the Butler Gymnasium and the old alumni gym. William Warfield will have all the games for you streamed live Saturday and Sunday. I'll be here Sunday night with the Lexington Catholic boys game, and when we take our next break, I'll actually look at my bracket here and see who the Knights are playing in that game, if I can find it.
We got all the games streaming on the Butler floor. Well, the Coach Danny Haney court, but the Butler Gymnasium.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's exactly. Lexington Catholic will play the winner of Danville and Knott County. Catholic will play Sunday night at 7:30. They'll play the winner of Danville and Knott County Central. So that's the game I'll be calling. And we won't get into it, but there's a reason I called just the Lexington Catholic games.
So Penn is already committed to Dayton.
We were told Penn has to Dayton?
Well, that's what, but we were told a little bit different.
No, well, we were told by Warden that she's going to Tampa.
Okay.
So maybe Penn but Penn is listed as a junior, so she's already,
So she maybe gave a verbal, but I know that there's some South Carolina schools that are looking at her as well.
Boy, she's a player. To the basket, Jeffers knocked away and picked up by Murphy on the floor. Jump ball called, and possession arrow, I think, was going to give it back to Butler. On the jump ball. So, yeah, Butler should get the ball. Now they're going to give it to E-Town. I thought possession arrow favored E-Town. Should be white ball, from my understanding. The arrow is pointing toward white. So maybe they hadn't switched the arrow.
So who we got over there? We got Kentucky. We got Morehead State. I think I seen an Idaho over there.
Scouts.
I didn't even know Idaho had a college. Did you?
Oh yeah. They do more than potatoes in Idaho. Boley but Greg Todd, of course, the coach at Morehead, was the longtime head coach here at Catholic. Won state championships back to back, and then had pretty good success at Trancing, and then took the Morehead job a couple years ago. His daughter Brooke Todd plays for him at Morehead.
We've already been expected. I know Texas is going to be here for the boys tournament. Darren Horn, he's going to come out here for that, is what I've been told. And whole bunch of other D1 college coaches will be here.
Be some talent here in that game.
There'll be college coach row over there.
Boley got them both. She's got 37. Wonder what her career high is. Probably in the 40s, I would guess.
Yeah.
But she's got 37 right now. 54-37. As I said, she has equal Butler's output. Good save inbound by Goodlet. Swing it over to Tasia Jeffries. She's spinning, in trouble. Ball knocked away on the floor. Jeffries back to pin the Dayton commit.
You think Boley knows that she's got that many points right now?
Shot won't roll there for Goodlet. Probably not. She's so good and so under control. She probably doesn't care less how many points she got. I'm sure she knows she's got a bunch, but because she's hit a ton of free throws.
Yeah.
She's hit about 12 or 13 free throws at least. My scoring is very unofficial, William, as you know. I mean, my basic Boone County math is very basic, you know.
Well, you got Josh Moore over there from the Herald Leader. He looks like he's keeping an eye on things.
She's got 37, is that right? And what's her career high? Anybody want to know what her career high is? I'd say she's had 40 in her illustrious career.
Yeah.
We'll try to figure that one out. But we'll come back. It's 54-37, E-Town on top. Aaron Boley with 37 to lead the Lady Panthers. We'll return here to the Traditional Bank Classic after this timeout on PrepSpin. And for you folks watching in Elizabethtown, and we know there's a few of you watching there.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, let us know through our chat what Aaron Boley's career high is. She's got 37 tonight. We want to know if she's had in the 40s. So just send us a note to, what do they send that to, William?
They can just, just chat there and let us know.
On PrepSpin?
There's a live chat right there on the broadcast window if
Yeah.
you're watching through YouTube.
148. E-Town's going to remain unbeaten. They're going to remain at the #1 top team in the state, leading #2 Butler by 17. Penn, baseline. Penn runner rolls out and rebounded by Boley. Need to get a final stat sheet also and see how many ball knocked out there by Butler. Need to also see how many rebounds Miss Boley's had.
And check this out. E-Town's outscored their opponents 639 to 347 coming into this one. That's not counting today's game. That's pretty remarkable right there. They've scored more points than anybody in Region 5.
Looks like Greene County's a pretty good ball club in that region with a 9-1 record, and
yeah.
Thomas Nelson 7-2, and Nelson County also a good ball club.
Yeah, none of those teams are going to be able to.
They don't strike fear in you, do they? When it come, I mean, E-Town strikes fear in you because you got 3 Division I players in the lineup, maybe more if you count the freshmen and sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
Minute 23, E-Town up 54-37 behind All-Stater and All-World Aaron Boley's 37 points. We'll get a final stat sheet and find out before we get off the air too how many rebounds from Miss Boley. She definitely had a double-double tonight. She had at least 6-7 rebounds at halftime.
Butler's outscored their opponents coming into this one 534 to 344. But they're not the best team as far as Region 6, as far as points scored. North Bullitt scored 672 points.
Yeah, in 3 more games, though.
Yeah, in 3 more games, and they've given up a lot more points, too, in those 3 more games. 519 given up from North Bullitt.
But, of course, that 6 region's always tough with Butler, PRP, Bullitt East.
Yeah. Well, you know your stuff, don't you?
What's that?
You know your regions by heart, don't you?
I sure do. I mean, I got them down, pat.
Yeah.
Especially when they're up on the screen on the computer. 107, 56-37 with William Moorfield, the King of Stream. Gary Ball, appreciate you watching us here. Join us for the boys' action at beginning Saturday. As again, Lexington Catholic boys play Sunday night against the winner of Danville and Knott County. I'll have the play-by-play of that one right here from the Buter Gymnasium. Be glad to be back working with you in the boys tournament, William, coming up Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Of all the boys action. And, of course, you know me, any big Lexington matchups, Henry Clay, Dunbar, any of them, I'll be along to give some play-by-play on that as well.
Yeah, we'll have some pretty big games.
Some good matchups in that tournament. 48 seconds. Boley back up there, and she's got 38 now.
I want to send a shout out to everybody tuning in today. Thank you so much for supporting the broadcast, and again, thanks to Traditional Bank for being the title sponsor of the tournament. But on the broadcast, we want to thank White, Greer, and Maggard for being our title sponsor. Of course, Rafferty's for supporting the broadcast here this weekend as well.
Yeah, thanks to Rafferty's throughout the state. They're in E-Town, they're in Bowling Green, they're in Louisville, Lexington.
I need to give a shout out to Collins Bowling Centers over at Eastland and Southland Lanes, and also UK Credit Union, Gary.
Yes, that's exactly right, and thanks to all those folks, and of course
Lexington Catholic. How cool is it that Lexington Catholic puts on this type of tournament, plus they want to broadcast all the games?
Yep.
They were trying to get us to broadcast the alumni gym, too. I said, hold up, we need more staff for that.
Yeah, we would need twice the staff, but plus you need internet over there.
Well, they got that now.
Oh, they got internet in there?
They got that now. Yeah, Brad Carter's coming here and installed internet, I think, in every corner.
Well, we're just a couple days away from the big day. Santa will be heading out of the North Pole, and he'll be delivering goods to all the little kiddies who've been, if you've been bad, you better watch out, though. He knows who's been naughty or nice.
I hope he knocks on the door because it's going to be too hot in the chimney. Maybe not, depending on the weather outside. Right now you can wrap Christmas presents and that kind of stuff and have your windows open.
Yes, it's very nice. 65, 60 to 37. Here's a long shot, and it won't go out there for Jeffries. Rebounded, and E-Town's going to run this clock out, it looks like. That is Miss Carson Knight, the sophomore, who's played very well in this tournament, giving some quality minutes to Coach Tim Mudd and the Lady Panthers, and also has her counterpart over there, Tanisha Murphy's got the ball. 8 seconds. Yeah, in that boys tournament, boy, you got some quality teams. West Jessamine, Murray, Bryan Station, Dunbar. Which won the West?
They're playing Fayette County, Georgia.
Right.
But
and it's over.
West and Murray, we got to definitely do that game.
Yeah, we'll tell you about the boys. But the championship of the girls goes to E-Town behind 39 unofficially from Miss Erin Boley, 60 to 37. We'll come back and wrap things up here. E-Town is your 2015 Traditional Bank girls basketball champions over Butler, 60 to 37. We'll return here with more postgame and wrap it up after this timeout.
We'll turn on the live mics and just listen in to the public address announcer here.
The runner-up and the champions of the 2015 Traditional Bank Holiday Classic here at Lexington Catholic. Trophies will be presented by Peg Ransta and Bill Popper of Traditional Bank here in Lexington. First, we would like to acknowledge the most valuable player of the 2015 Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. This year's MVP award goes to, with a total, as I counted, 39 points in the championship game, number 21, Erin Boley from the Panthers of E-Town. And now congratulations to our runner-up
Scott Bowley.
DDS. DMD.
Are we back, Mr. William? We're back. And we're back here live. Scott Bowley joins us. Your daughter, 39. That's a career high. And I tell you what, she couldn't miss her early on. Everything she put up, Scott, was going in for.
Yeah, I thought she looked real focused. As a parent, you can see a lot of times it look in her eyes, and I thought even in warm-ups, I thought I could tell she was kind of zoned in and focused. That doesn't always mean you're going to hit all your shots, but yeah, she came out real aggressive, and it was a nice game.
It was a nice game and a nice, overall game when you look at they beat a good Butler team 60-37, and that gets them kind of well-tuned and oiled for Christmas, and then they can head down to Naples for that big tournament down there.
Absolutely. A little time off. They played 6 of the last 7 days, so their legs definitely need a break. And, yeah, this is nice. This is 3 years in a row we've won this tournament, and this is always a heck of a tournament. Most of the better teams in the state play in it, so it's a nice accomplishment.
You played college basketball, so I'm sure Aaron uses you as a big resource. What are one of the main things that you knew early on that she was going to be a special player? Even though she's your daughter, you kind of keep that separated a little bit.
Yeah, work ethic. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of the things she does are not, the work ethic part. You want your kids to work hard, but she just always had kind of a drive. She's a type A personality, and everything she does, it really is, and that's something I think you're just born with. I mean, you certainly try to guide them in certain directions, but she just is a really hard worker. She makes me realize how hard I didn't work when I was a kid.
Probably a straight A student, I'm assuming, with that type A personality.
Same way with the grades. She's the same way, yeah.
And Notre Dame, we were talking on the broadcast. She committed to them, I believe, pretty early on, like after maybe sophomore.
September of her junior year.
Of her junior year. So she's pretty solid on that. It's a great, academic school, something she takes. And, what I was saying also here at Lexington Catholic, there was a great player named Natalie Novosel. She wanted to have a great career. So if she ever runs into her here in the hallways, maybe they could confer notes.
We actually met her for the first time last year at this tournament in the other gym, the auxiliary gym. We were playing Allen County Scottsville, and she came in and somebody came and grabbed me and introduced me to her, and I met her and her dad, and I know she's had a nice pro career too. I believe still playing in Australia, and yeah, she was a really good player there.
Right. When you look at this season, there's a lot of pressure on a team that's consensus #1 team, but this team seems to handle it about as well as anybody can handle it, from what I could see top to bottom. Not just Aaron, but Warden seems to handle it well. Thomas, of course, Stinson. Nothing seems to bother her.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Obviously, we lost 3 players that are playing Division I now from last year, so it is unknown how those other players are going to handle that. And Stinson and Warden have a lot of experience, so they both play a lot of summer ball too, which helps. But Thomas she's just really playing well, I think, this year. And then your other players, Deaton and Carson Knight, and those other ones are coming in and doing a really good job, doing solid. They don't have to be spectacular,
right,
if they just come in and be solid.
And I don't have an official stat sheet. I was hoping I'd grab one, but I'm sure she had double-double. I'm sure she had 10 rebounds because she had like 6 at halftime.
Did she? I'm not sure on that.
But that's something I know she takes a lot of pride, too, is in her rebounding.
Well, I told her, a team as athletic as Butler, I told her before the game, I didn't tell her what to do offensively, but I did say, hey, you better rebound today because they're gonna attack the glass hard, and it's going to be more important today than normal.
Well, the 5th region, we were looking at that earlier too. How many good teams there are in that 5th region, and they're all gunning for E-Town, of course. And but you guys, your team knows that, and we're going to be joined to try to grab Coach Mudd and maybe Aaron as well, get a little interview with him. But Scott Bowley joined us, and when you have a daughter that's as good as Aaron is and a great student and everything, how do you keep her, grounded? She says she's a Type A personality. So how do you keep her so well grounded?
Well,
it's not hard.
I think she does most of that herself.
Oh, does she?
She's not big on
rah-rah,
talking about herself or rah-rah. You know, some of the scholarship offers she would get, even as a freshman, sophomore, I would tell her, and she'd say, "Oh, great," and just walk up to her room like it's no big deal. I mean, just never. I don't know. I can't explain why. Just nothing. That stuff doesn't faze her real big. But yeah, she stays pretty grounded. I mean, I guess we try to instill that in her, but she's kind of just that way on her own.
And we interviewed in the pregame, we interviewed Coach Mudd and Rachel Warden, and Warden said she's a consummate team player. Said, she really praised, and she said it's such a great honor for me to play with such a great player like Aaron. But so that was, to me, was the
that's
the
great
best
to hear
compliment.
From another teammate, you know, for sure. Yeah, you'd like to hear from coaches or anybody else, but from a teammate, that's the best compliment you can get.
That's who you're out there going to war with every night. Well, Scott Bowley, thank you, sir. Thanks for doing it. Good luck the rest of the season. Have a nice trip down to Naples, Florida. I know it'll be nice to be down there this time of year, but it's been pretty warm here in Lexington, you know.
84 down there right now.
But anyway, thank you, Scott. Appreciate your time. That's Scott Bowler, whose daughter had a career night tonight with 39 points, named MVP of this tournament. We'll come back and wrap it up with the championship of the Traditional Bank Classic going to E-Town, 60-37 over Butler.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Kentucky's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
defend you guys?
Well, it didn't help. It helped us. She's a tremendous player. I'm sure it hurt them.
Thanks,
All
Coach.
right, thank you.
And Tim Mudd steps in here to join us here. William, I guess William will let us know. Are we live, William? Okay, we're live here with Tim Mudd, the coach of E-Town. They win the Traditional Bank Championship, and Coach Mudd, your ball club really stepped up, particularly Erin Boley with career-high 39.
Yeah, she was really good today. I think that's an understatement, but it's like I was telling the other reporters. Thing I was most proud of today was our passing. A lot of times on Erin's scoring, it was after the 6th, 7th, 8th pass, and sometimes it was after her 3rd touch. And we're giving the defense time to break down and giving her time and room to make decisions with the ball. She didn't force anything today. She just took what the defense gave her.
How important was it to jump out and get the big start on Butler? Because they've been such an explosive team here in the tournament.
Well, I mean, that's an understatement. It's always big to jump out to a big lead, take some of the pressure off. And I thought, today our bench, we were able to play our bench quite a bit, and I thought they did a really good job. They're young, they're developing, so getting them in a game like this is really important for us.
And you mentioned your team is really playing good team basketball right now. Did that start in this tournament, or was that something that started to progress before you got here to Lexington?
It did start to progress before we got here, but it wasn't with us at the beginning of the year. We've really our chemistry has really grown through a short stretch. The girls are playing together. You can tell that there's a genuine love for each other. They pick each other up. They cheer for each other. And then in turn, you've seen it in our play on the court because we share the basketball so well.
And now, Coach, you've got a couple days off for Christmas. Then you head down to Naples, Florida. I know you expect a tough tournament down there as well. Tell us about some of the teams that you might meet up down there.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Gary, I really don't know. I know we play. I don't really know anything about them. I know it's a good tournament. We just wanted to do this year for our seniors and obviously get away, relax a little bit, play some basketball, hopefully get better. But we want to send these seniors out on a good note.
Coach, we appreciate your time and good luck the rest of the season at E-Town.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's Tim Mudd, the head coach of E-Town. They win the Traditional Bank Classic over Butler, 60-37. And that wraps things up here. Join us for all the boys action here from the Boys Traditional Bank Tournament. It'll get underway Saturday right here at Lexington Catholic. And we'll also have the Lexington Catholic boys game Sunday night at 7:30. Until then, thanks for watching all the games on PrepSpin.